lost 2 people who were on hunger strike, whose attorneys said it would be proper for us to talk to them. So, so I take away a mixture of both. Very warm feelings about the people of El Paso, and I congratulate them. And by the way, I say that about the Mexicans to whom most people are being sent right now. When they get there and they're being processed, they are given an identity card that says they're legally in Mexico. They're given a work permit, and they're given health care, some kind of a card that says they have access to all health care. It's a different reception than people crossing the border here get in the United States of America. I take it personally as the daughter of parents who were not born in the United States of America, and throughout their lives and their parents' lives were treated with open arms. They worked hard, and now my grandfather's granddaughter is a member of the U.S. Congress. It's a very different America, and I say this, no matter what Donald Trump does, this is a country of immigrants, and that's what makes America great.
Thank you.
Congressman, what's your reaction?
One more.
Congressman Gil Cisneros from California. I want to thank Congresswoman Escobar for setting up this trip. These last 2 days have been very eye-opening, going down to Juarez and seeing what goes on down there, and how we're basically trying to push our problems onto the Mexican government. But we had a great visit today with Ruben Garcia, who is doing so much, volunteering all his time and getting other volunteers to help these immigrants, to help them get reunited with their families. That's the American way. That's what we need and what's so important, and that's what we should be doing as a country, more of that. It's very unfortunate that today it had to end, this tour here with ICE had to end on a sour note. They wouldn't let us talk to those that are on the hunger strike. They did promise, though, we would be able to have access to talk to individuals, but it was very obvious when they were taking us around, they were keeping those in custody at arm's length, not allowing us to come in contact with them. We were able to kind of speak to a couple of them, but they didn't want us to talk to those.
How many members of the delegation have introduced some sort of immigration reform bill?
Well, I think we have various bills that are out there, but the one thing that I will tell you that it's obvious to me, we need comprehensive immigration reform now. I see that more than ever. And we heard it from the ICE agents, we heard it from the Border Patrol, we heard it from the U.S. Consulate down in Mexico. This whole process is broken. It is taking people way too long. You got people coming here, they get a hearing, a court date a year later. It's taken people 20 plus years to come into the country to be reunited with their families. The system is broken, and we need to work on it, and that's something I know we're all going to be dedicated to. Everybody who's gone on this trip is going to be dedicated to working on comprehensive immigration reform that we should have done a long time ago, but we are going to get it done.
Your thoughts on the migrant protection protocols?
It's a horrible situation down there. Basically what we're doing is sending our problems down here, that we let these people come in and we say, you can come into the United States, we'll give you a court date, but then, you know what, now you need to go back to Mexico. There's nothing about this protocol that is protecting migrants. We're sending them into what is a violent and dangerous situation down there, into a country that is not their home, and we got to be better than that. This is a country of immigrants. It needs to continue to be a country of immigrants. That's the American way. This country is built by immigrants. It'll continue to be built on the back of immigrants, and we need to be acceptance of that, and this administration is not doing that, and this policy of trying to keep everybody out, and it's not just undocumented immigrants coming into the country. They're trying to stop all immigration coming into this country, and we need to put an end to that.
You said that you were able to talk to a few people in the facility. What were those conversations like? What did you hear from them?
Jan was talking about one of those today. The two
Yeah,
women
the 2 women were outside. We really did not inside the facility. It happened that those 2 people were there. But I do want to say that Representative Veronica Escobar has a bill called the Homeland Security Improvement Act. One of the things I know that it will do is end the MPP, this mass exportation of the pain that these migrants are feeling these asylum seekers are feeling by sending them to Mexico, and then we wash our hands of them. So this is a very important bill that we're hoping when we get back after this recess that we're going to be able to pass in the House of Representatives.
Yes, sir.
One thing that we learned about the MPP is that it's incentivizing illegal border crossing. Because we tell these folks, do it legally, come across on the bridge, ask for asylum that way. But if you do that, you have a 100% chance of getting sent back. And then you're waiting month after month after month. And so more and more people, and the Border Patrol confirmed this, are now crossing illegally because of the frustrations with the MPP.
One such person died on Tuesday because
Two
of that.
Two people died.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, again, we are incentivizing exactly what the administration says that it wants to discourage, which is people crossing in desperation illegally rather than asking lawfully for asylum at a port of entry.
No,
It's not just wrong, it's stupid.
The administration is telling them to cross at a point of entry, and then we do the metering, and not allowing people to come in and say we're not taking any more people today. It's horrible, and that's not the American way. We need to be inclusive. This administration is an isolationist administration. We don't want that. We need to make sure people that when they come here, when they seek asylum, when they seek the safety of the United States, that they're able to do that, and they're able to do that in a safe manner. And we look after them and protect them.
After having been in Mexico, would you say that it is an environmentally dangerous place as it's been described by others?
Just going by the everything that we heard, we know the cartels are down there. We're hearing about how people, when they get released from custody, they have these bags that people are spotting them, and they're getting kidnapped. They're being held for ransom to get money from their families here in the United States. So it's obviously very dangerous. They're in, like I said, a foreign country that's not their home. The cartels are rampant out there. They're looking for these individuals. You got smugglers that are looking to kidnap them. It is real dangerous now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the last question. The congressmen have to go. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Tell us about the circumstances. How long have you been here? What we learned, what was fascinating that we learned as an example from our time inside the cells with Border Patrol, who totally accommodated us, accommodated more than 20 members, because there were more people here yesterday than there are today. Some folks had to leave early this morning. What we learned was that many women in that cell that we walked into had come in a second time as a result of MPP. So they were desperate in Juarez, waiting for their for their asylum hearing, but so desperate and afraid because people were being murdered around them that they came in between courts. That's important information for members of Congress to know as we're talking about MPP and possibly funding it in the 2020 DHS appropriations bill. So these are things we have to know, again, not a gotcha moment, but to make the best policy and appropriations decisions. When there's a curtain pulled over where our money is going, then I'm sorry, there's a lot of mistrust. All right, we gotta go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. About how many were on the court today?
I'll get a cut. Hey, Will.
Yeah, Evan, right.
Evan, how about you here and me back here?
Actually, if you were right there, we can cross shoot.
Okay.
That'd be perfect.
So I'll sit here?
Sit there.
Okay.
So sit there.
Are
Can
you
get him?
guys
I'll get
okay?
her.
This is Vice.
No, you can sit. No, we're gonna check.
Unless you don't want to be on Vice. If you want to.
It's Vice on HBO, so.
We talked last night. Yeah. Come on.
One sec, hang on.
He's the only congressman still at the bar.
And we're
Alright, this is my favorite one so
for
far.
Chan.
All right, I'll get the congressman and you get Evan.
Guys, are you good? Yeah, we're ready.
Rolling. Running.
So you seem like you're pretty disappointed by the trip.
No, thrilled by the trip.
Let me start over then. You disappointed by the visit.
The ice visit.
Yeah, well, tell me about the disappointment.
You know, here's the thing, and the congressman really laid it out. You know, Congress appropriates a significant amount of money to go into these facilities, to have these facilities.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I think that was just a rehearsal, right?